see a scenario this year where you play more on offense than defense?
That's a good question. I think as of right now, I think anything's possible. But, I'm just trying to do whatever I can to be on the field and help my team. So.
When you were at Camas and you were thinking about college football, did you imagine, well, I'll be playing here, I'll be playing there, I'll be playing everywhere pretty much for the college football team you're playing for?
The funny thing, back when I was younger and stubborn, and now I'm, much older and wiser now, I was super ambitious about being a quarterback, and I even turned down a lot of offers to be quarterback. But once I got here, I was like, okay, well, maybe the door's closing a little too much, and then ended up making the switch. So, yeah, a little unique how that works out. But here we are.
Do you volunteer for things you haven't done yet?
Like, what do you mean, like on the
Kick,
field and stuff?
anything, just they need something, you'll say, I can do it, and then they have to say no?
There was a little long snap debacle a few years ago, and that didn't turn out well at all. And from what I know, I can't kick at all. These legs they can run, but kicking, it's not in my DNA, man.
Yeah.
So.
Have you been able to turn any of this into NIL stuff? See like your popularity and all the things you've done?
There's been a little bit, and actually here in the next coming days I will be releasing Jackhammer merchandise, so and then donating that to Wounded Warriors, part of the proceeds. So
what kind of merchandise?
T-shirts and sweatshirts and stuff like that. Just getting started, establishing a base and then moving up from there.
Is this entrepreneurial, or is this somebody getting behind you?
Obviously it takes a team to do that because I don't know how to do all that. That takes a lot of time, so I have a good support crew.
Have you trademarked that at all or anything, Jackhammer?
I think we have done the trademark for Jackhammer on clothes. So don't be trying to steal it, anybody, if you're listening. Don't even think about it.
I know you've probably got your mindset on this season, but with eligibility kind of wrapping up, have you given much thought to what your career might look like at the next level?
It's funny because people ask me that, and I'm just like, I'll play anywhere. It doesn't even really matter. It's wherever I can add value and help the team and help where I get drafted. I'm willing to do that. And I think there's value in that too, especially with 53-man rosters, and they need people who can do a bunch of things. And if I can do them well, I think that's going to be really valuable.
Teagan scoring catching the touchdown pass, and Hodgins having 9 catches in one preseason game. What's it like to watch your former teammates moving up and doing well?
Actually, I did see Teagan's catch, and both those guys, it's really nice to see them develop and excel at the next level, especially when they're here. You could tell that was their dream and their ambition, and they worked really hard for it. And just to see teammates have a goal and have an ambition and work tirelessly to get that, and to see that succeed, it's inspiring, but it's also really nice to see those guys succeed.
What about Boise State in the first game? What are your thoughts about getting this season going?
I can't wait, man. It's been a long time coming. 1 year older feels like 10 years older for me, but I'm excited for this thing to get rolling and get Beaver Nation to come to the games and pack the house.
Have you got your degree yet in engineering?
I did. I finished this spring.
What do you think you're going to do with that?
Play football.
Well, at least you're honest. Well, at some point though, don't you want to do? Or do you want to do something?
If it ends up being that way, ultimately, my goal is to basically live life on my terms, whether that be own a business or football or whatever that is. If I use that degree to help start a business and run a business, then I'm for that. But as of right now, my goals are football.
Which area?
Mechanical. Yeah.
How good can this team be this year? Obviously, expectations are high because you guys made a bowl last year, but what are your thoughts about this season and the expectations?
I think the sky's the limit. I think if we're able to stay consistent, we got enough talent on this team, and if we're able to go through the process correctly, we can. I think nothing's really impossible for us.
You were outside linebacker in high school. Is that a big conversion going from that to what you're doing right now?
In my mind, I always had the idea that I was going to play inside linebacker. So when I was in high school, I actually, towards the end, my coaches started coaching me a little bit as inside linebacker. So they could transition from outside to inside my first years in college at the other school I was at. So it was weird, but it's exactly where I wanted to be because I'm a sideline type player, and I want to go right, I want to go left, I want to go back, I want to go so it made sense.
Is there anything that you learned from playing outside that helps you play in the
I would say my pass rush. once you play outside, it's kind of those things where it's natural to set the edge. It's natural to kind of surf when the quarterback is going away. It's natural to kind of pass rush and dip on the tackle. So those things as an outside linebacker help me a lot to transition to the inside.
How much energy does Trent Bray bring to the sideline as opposed to, what you might get from him if he was in the coach's box on game day?
I mean, Coach Bray, wherever he is, you're going to feel his energy. You're going to feel, that he's in his room, his presence, So on the field, he's getting us amped up. We're getting turned up. We're all meeting together, but a lot of the time, Coach Bray actually, he gives the reins to the players. And he's like, hey, let's go today. Then break us down, you know what I mean? Or break us down, because he wants the player to lead the team, rather than the energy to come from him, you know what I'm saying?
How much did you guys, as far as, because obviously scrimmage won, defense won that scrimmage. Jonathan said it wasn't as clear cut scrimmage too. Do you guys take that personally a little bit sometimes in practice when they beat you guys, and what's the mood like there?
Oh man, we're always taking that personal. On defense we win, and that's it, nothing less. So if the offense gets up on us, we got to get them back twice. We got to get them back 3 times. We don't get even, we get ahead.
What's the biggest thing you're stressing to some of the younger guys on the defensive side of the ball as it gets transitioning here into game prep mode as opposed to fall camp mode?
Full speed all the time, because we're getting ready to play. It's full speed, it's not slow, and it's technique, as well as detail. A lot of the young guys, they're learning how to play. They're transitioning from high school, so they've never been with, Coach Brays and people like that who have the intensity as well as the detail that they need, you know what I'm saying? So to the young guys, it's just detail, and hey, we're getting ready to play, so there's no going slow. We're full speed.
Do you have an added level of hunger, motivation, excitement, given that, do you have like a heightened level of excitement or hunger this year, knowing that eligibility-wise, you're coming up on the end here?
Oh man, every year for me is always exciting because this is what I love to do. Football, I'm passionate about it, and this is what I wake up in the morning, I'm smiling, I go to sleep smiling, this is what I love to do. So whether I'm a 2 last year, or wherever my position was, the energy's going to be the same. But this year, it's a whole nother level because our defense, we have expectations, and it's like I say, it's dominate every single day, win. So the intensity has to be up.
How have you felt like the guys up playing in front of you have really opened up holes during this camp? How do you think they've progressed?
Yeah, they've gotten a lot better. Not saying that they were bad before, but their techniques have changed, and they are really owning their techniques. They're getting physical, they're getting pushed, they're getting in the backfield. The offensive line, when they're changing the line of scrimmage, it just helps us linebackers mean, we're flowing fast, you know what I'm saying? So with the D-line up front, their new techniques, it's tremendous help for us.
Obviously transitioning into the start of the season, you guys start off against a couple of different teams that have some good offensive teams. What sense, or how do you feel like the team's urgency is right now, especially from that defensive standpoint going into the season? Where do you feel like you guys are?
I wish we could have showed you the numbers from the fall camp. Our urgency from day one to now has always been more. To be a great defense, it's being good, consistently good all the time. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry about that. No. Here we are. So to be a great defense, it's consistently good all the time. So every day it's about the details. Every day, it's, hey, we did great yesterday, but we got to do better tomorrow. We got to do better the next day. So the detail is always just intensifying as the days go.
What have you seen kind of from, the inside linebackers this year, from some of the young guys, from year 1 to year 2, like guys like Easton, for example, this year, sort of in fall camp?
Yeah, so guys like those, Easton's always been good from day one since he's played here. I said it last year, he's one of the smartest guys I played with. That has not changed. These young guys, I would say the thing that has changed for them is the speed that they're playing at, the downhill. When they see a gap open, it's shoot it. When you're coming out of high school, it's kind of tough if you're not used to shooting gaps, if you're not used to kind of playing like that. You might be a little timid sometimes, so when you get those repetitions and when you get a little bit of time, a year under your belt, it's just playing faster. And then in the defense, Easy is so smart. Easton, I call him Easy, Easton is so smart, so his thing was just learning the defense to a T, which he does now, and it's just playing for him now.
Obviously Avery's not here.
Yes, sir.
How you guys adapted without that and moved on as a group?
That the biggest thing for us is we just got to step up. If we want to be everything that we want to be, we can't live in the past. You know what I'm saying? We can't be like, Avery's gone, what are we gonna do? It's next man up. You have to step up. And we don't restart, we reload. You know what I'm saying? And Coach Bray gets guys like myself, Easton, the Jacks, and everybody ready to go to step in that Mike position. So we're ready to reload and go even better and go even forward.
Jack said that he probably, out of all the positions, kicking is probably one that he probably won't do and can't do. You think he can kick? Probably.
Man, come on, Jack can do anything. That's the hammer, you know what I mean? He can do anything. I mean, I'm sure he can run an interview if he wanted to. He could do anything.
How big is it for the players to sort of validate last year? Obviously, there's talks of proving that it wasn't a fluke for you guys. How big is it this year to sort of back up what you guys did last year and build on it?
Oh man, I mean, we're hungry, you know what I mean? We're tired of the same narratives. We're tired of, everybody overlooking Oregon State. We're tired of them just saying, oh, that's just another Oregon State team. We want to be that dominant team that we know we can be, you know what I'm saying? So now from last year, we go undefeated at home, but we need to be better on the road. So now it's all about focusing and getting our details right so we can dominate at home and on the road. I mean, we are hungry, starving for this season, and that's all we want is to dominate. We're changing the narrative.